inside Santa Cruz. I'm Joyce Anderson, and we're here at the Salvation Army Kettle Kick Off, and this is the 12th annual. And it's going to be a very exciting afternoon, and this is such a wonderful organization. It raises money to help so many people across the nation and worldwide. So I'd like to introduce, this is Captain.
My name is Captain Harold Lava, and I'm the County Coordinator for the Salvation Army here in Santa Cruz.
I'm Jennifer Cornell, Advisory Board Member, and coordinating this event today.
And you are?
I'm Ali Coppel, and I'm just a volunteer.
Hi, I'm Sherry Pepper, co-chair with Miss Jennifer over there for our 3rd year in a row. Thank you for coming.
And also, in case you're wondering, they don't always dress like this. The theme this year is a Victorian Christmas. So most of the people working here have gone all out to give it a holiday spirit. So congratulations, ladies, you did it.
Thank you.
You didn't sew your own costumes, did you, or just? No, not quite. Okay. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. We're going to interview some more people. So I want to introduce David Lee. He's new on our advisory board for the Salvation Army. David, welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself. You're new here.
Yeah, well, I'm relatively new to the Salvation Army Advisory Board. This is my 2nd year on the board. I spent 28 years as a San Jose police officer, retired about almost 2.5 years ago now. When I retired, I wanted to find myself a place that I could really feel like I could contribute something back to the community. So I looked at a lot of the different agencies out here, volunteer services out here, and the Salvation Army was just a perfect fit, absolutely perfect fit.
Perfect. Well, we look forward to having you on the board and helping. And you kind of mentioned about you were helping sewing some of these costumes.
Well, I noticed that the women were a little modest about it, but they, as well as I, spent the last 2 nights burning the midnight oil sewing those outfits. It took a lot of work doing it, but we came through with, I think, splendid flying colors. One other thing I want to add on this particular Kettle Kickoff, one thing that was really, truly important to me was to get the local police departments involved. And it was wonderful that they responded when we went out to them. And I think this is the first time that we've had representatives from every single police department here with us tonight. CHP, State Parks, Santa Cruz PD, Santa Cruz Sheriff's Department, Watsonville PD, UCSC, their police chiefs and the sheriffs are all here with us. The district attorney's office is present too. And the second component that we added this year is we have the VFW. We have a table with the Live Oak chapter, the VFW, with all of their members here with us. And hopefully we're going to get Santa Cruz chapter of the VFW to join us at the tables next year, as well as the bankers, Coldwell Banker, Dave Ling, the realtors, and the other organizations, social organizations within the community, like the Rotaries Club, the Columbus Club, the Lions Club, all those other different agencies. We like to get them, the social services, out here and supporting the Salvation Army and having a table. So if you're watching and you're a representative for one of those organizations, please contact us. We would love to have you sitting here with us and enjoying this wonderful event.
Well, we are glad to have you talk about getting things done. But he was kidding about the sewing of the dresses.
No, we didn't do that.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you so much. Enjoy. Well, I want to introduce Donna Lynn. She's the former mayor of Scotts Valley. Plus, she also worked for the police.
Retired Scotts Valley police officer, yes.
I know, and congratulations.
Yeah,
how are you enjoying retirement?
Well, I say I failed retirement because I'm more active now than I think I was, but you know, it feels good to still be involved in my community and be active, and you know that.
Yes, I know you are. Thank you so much for being here and supporting Salvation Army today.
I thank you for all you've done. You know, my family was retired military, and the one thing, since I was little, they said Salvation Army was always there for them. And I mean, they served World War II and through some difficult times. And I always remember how much they said Salvation Army, you know, meant to all of them. So
they were there.
They were all military, and they said that was the organization that had their backs during difficult times. So
that's true. Thank you for that. Thank you. Well, I want to introduce Dan Hafley from O'Neill Sea Odyssey. Dan, you want to say a few words? So happy you're here.
Sure. Thank you for inviting me, Joyce. O'Neill Sea Odyssey. We're kicking off another season this year. We have students going out on the Team O'Neill catamaran to learn about the ocean, to learn the science of the ocean. This year, we're going to serve our 100,000th student. And it's great to be here with the Salvation Army luncheon to kick off the holiday season. A lot of people are in need, especially this year with the price of housing being so high, and many people suffering from the consequences of high housing prices and the lack of employment. So it's great to be here to help in our small way, in my small way, to help make a difference. And thank you for your leadership in doing this.
Oh, thank you, Dan. Good to see you. Well, I'm very excited. I want to introduce our new police chief, Andy Mills.
Well, good
Welcome
morning.
to Santa Cruz.
Thank you.
I have not been able to attend any of the neighborhood watch things yet,
Right.
but I did do the trafficking one at the police station.
Okay, great.
So tell me how this is all unfolding for you and how you're doing.
Well, what a marvelous city, right?
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just spectacular in every way. I mean, it's wonderful people. It's a wonderful government. It's a wonderful business community. You know, we have our challenges, but we're going to work through those things and make sure that we're all headed the same direction together. And that's why it's so important to have groups such as the Salvation Army taking care of the needy, especially during the holiday time like this.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys do much more than that, don't you?
Yes.
You also take care of the first responders when we're in need as well. And so it's a wonderful organization. I'm so excited to be here to support it.
Well, thank you so much. I know you have a lot of your men here today.
Right.
And I look forward to meeting your wife. There's a lot of programs we could get her involved in if she's willing.
Yeah, she's doing a lot right now, but certainly she'll look forward to meeting with you guys as well.
Thank you so much, Chief. I want to introduce Harriet Maness, who is a volunteer and a fundraiser extraordinaire. So Harriet, welcome to Salvation Army.
I'm so thrilled to be here because I love the Salvation Army, Joy. I've always been so fond of it. They do so much for our community and all the people in the United States, to tell you the truth. But I also want to state about I'm with Palo Alto Medical this year as a volunteer for a Step into Fashion, which will be April the 14th at the Coconut Grove. And I hope it's for cancer. And I'm wishing that everybody in the community come out to shop for cancer and stamp it out for our community. Thank you, Joy, and a wonderful fundraiser that you're doing.
I know. Thank you, Harriet. Enjoy the day.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Anthony Duran, here, Assistant Store Director at Mission Street Safeway in Santa Cruz. Safeway supports Salvation Army nationwide. Safeway contributes about $1,500 a month, which averages about $18,000 a year in goods in a dollar amount. As an employee here at Safeway, we are proud to contribute to the community and Salvation Army. Thank you, Salvation Army, for your recognition.
My name is Tom Reese. I am on the Salvation Army Board, Advisory Board. I have been for a number of years now. My first experience with the Salvation Army goes way back to as a young boy in my family. My dad was in the First World War, and in that capacity, he became acquainted with the Salvation Army, and what they did for his unit at that time was he was so impressed with it that he would tell it. He told my brother and I about that experience, and later on, when I was in the service myself, he reminded me that if you have a problem, you might contact the Salvation Army instead of the kind of saying Red Cross. A number of years later, when my dad passed away, my brother was a career service person in the Air Force, and he at that time was stationed in the Philippines, and I was having trouble contacting him in order to have him be able to fly home for the funeral, and the Salvation Army came to my rescue, helped me again, and he was on the next plane. That leaves you lasting impressions what the Salvation Army does, and they never take credit. They never go out get publicity for this kind of thing. It's just one of those things they do. I've been involved on the Kettle Kick Offs for a few years now because from the Rotarian standpoint, for a number of years we have always rang the bell at Christmas time, and the person that did that for Rotary as a Rotarian is no longer a Rotarian. He's still on the advisory board. But so I sort of inherited that job and continue to do that now. And it's fun, and it's an easy way to help the Army get some funds, and we enjoy doing it. The Salvation Army is a wonderful organization, and it should be supported. They don't get a lot of publicity out there, but they're always there. We, when there's a disaster of any kind, not only in our local area, but anywhere in the world, they're out there with no fanfare. They're in the front lines helping out the unfortunate people, not only in this country, but around the world.
I feel like you could feel his heart there in listening to what he had to say. So to accept this award today on behalf of Tom's family, Ed Covert is here, director of Camp Redwood Glen. Come on up.
So those of you that knew Tom would definitely sense his heart in that. I'm really grateful for Tom's presence on the council, and it's an honor to be able to accept this recognition on behalf of his family. And if you knew him, you loved him, and if you didn't know him, you would really have liked him. So it's a privilege to accept this on behalf of the family, and then also to let you know that Tom served on the camp council for many years, and also in his active contracting life did a lot of work out at camp with his crews, and so we're going to plant a redwood tree in his honor at camp as well. So thank you very much.
My name is George DeBok. I've been associated with the Salvation Army here in Santa Cruz since 1976. When I first came to the Salvation Army, I was working at the County Bank of Santa Cruz at the time, and the then president of the bank, Reese Davis, had asked me if I would be willing to become a member of the advisory board. And I said yes, having no idea what I was getting myself into. And I spent until 1982, I was at the board. Then I had to resign because I lost my job. I had to work over the hill, and so for 10 years I commuted, and then I came back in 1988, and in 1992 I came back to the advisory board. I came back and rejoined again, and I've been on it ever since for the last 25 years. For the last 3 years, I've been volunteering in the food program here at the Salvation Army. And I come every Wednesday for 3 hours and help give the food away. And I've got to the point where I actually look forward to coming down every Wednesday and meeting the people. I've met a lot of friends. Thanks to Denise Acosta, she's helped me out a lot. And I leave every Wednesday to go home, and she always thanks me for helping her, and it always makes me feel good. And of course, the captains here, the lawbucks, they always, every time they see me, they say hi, George, with a pleasant smile, and that makes me feel good. And anyway, I do a lot of volunteering with the Salvation Army. I like to do the red kettle, the bell ringer. I like to be in the bell ringer, and I look forward to doing that. I've lived here in Santa Cruz since 1975, and my wife Judy graduated from Santa Cruz High School in 1966, and she was a local girl. Unfortunately, Judy passed away 3.5 years ago after a many-year struggle with MS. And at the time, I was a little depressed and was not the best volunteer because I was 24 hours, 7 days a week taking care of my wife. But since then, I've met some nice people here in the Salvation Army. Jennifer Cornell, her husband Rick, and Sherry Pepper and her husband Walt, just great people. And of course, we have two wonderful captains who run the show here. And I look forward to several more years volunteering with the Salvation Army.
Hello, I'm Captain Harold Lawbaugh, the Santa Cruz County Corps Officer and Santa Cruz County Coordinator for the Salvation Army.
I'm Denise Acosta, Social Services Director.
The Salvation Army's mission includes serving suffering humanity, meeting the needs of those in our community, and showing God's love in the name of Jesus Christ.
I've served at Salvation Army over 20 years. We depend on people such as yourselves to continue helping us serve our community by your financial support. Our services here include food, clothing, utility assistance, disaster services, and spiritual counseling. For the last 130 years, we have served hundreds of thousands of people, and we will continue to do so with your support.
My name is Harry Mayo. I volunteer with the Salvation Army. I'm also known as one of the original surfers of Santa Cruz Surfing Club. I'll be 93 years old the 26th of November. The Retired Public Employees Association collected donations and bought a new canteen for the Salvation Army Emergency Service. I helped drive and operate that for many years. I had open heart surgery, and doctor said no more. So I haven't been able to do that. I miss doing that. The emergency personnel enjoyed having that canteen at the scene of the incident. Salvation Army is part of my life. I hope you make it yours. And I wish them a 130th anniversary, successful and continued success.
I have here two past honorees, Harry Mayo and George Au. Happy holidays to both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and George, how's everything with you?
Everything is so good. It's always nice to be here with Harry. He's the guy that got me started to come to these beautiful Salvation Army events.
Is that?
And to be with Harry. You know, Harry graduated Santa Cruz High in 1942 along with my mom.
Oh.
And so reminds me of a lot of good things.
He's giving away my age.
He's good. Oh, you're still young.
I'll
You're
be
still
89
young.
this month.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, and this is such a wonderful event, the Kettle Kick Off.
Definitely, definitely.
I love this event with the music and everything in the background, like we can hear the music.
I know.
And I'm so glad that Harry got me involved in it.
Well, thank you both. Have a great time today. And so good to see both of you together.
Thank you. Great to be here.
My name is Thelma Dolman, and I am a native of this area. My grandmother was born in SoCal. My father was born in Felton, and unfortunately I was born in Palo Alto because my mother's doctor was there, and I never quite forgave my mother for that. But I consider myself a native. I have raised my children here, and I've been a volunteer in the community for well over 60 years now. The major project that I was involved in with the Salvation Army was the first annual Kettle Kick Off. I had envied the folks across the bay who were raising money for their Corps through their Kettle Kick Off, and I'd see this on television, and I thought we could do that. And it took a little bit of cajoling with the other board members because we knew it would be a lot of work, but I wanted to rent the Coconut Grove and start out on a large scale. We were able to do that. And this very fall now, we're having our second annual kickoff, and we have more people involved than ever before, and we hope that there will be a third and a fourth and a fifth is still to come. But this is one of my proudest achievements, to have pushed that program, and it has been successful and will continue to be. I like volunteering. I have enjoyed being a volunteer all of my life, and I have found that the rewards are so great. It takes time to volunteer. It takes a dedication in many cases, but it is the most rewarding thing that a person can do with their lives. And as you sit at the end of your life, as some of us are right now, it's important to look back and say, I have made my life count for something, because I have been a volunteer and I've attempted to help people whenever it was possible. And I feel that one of the greatest things that I have been able to accomplish has been this Kettle Kick-Off, and I am so proud that today we are celebrating our second annual Kettle Kick-Off in Santa Cruz.
Look who I have here, Thelma Dolman. Thelma, so wonderful to see you. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. It's good to be here.
And Thelma, you helped start the Kettle Kick-Off here in this area.
I did. I understood that Monterey and that area was having kettle kick-offs and making money for the association. And so I thought, if they can do it, we can do it. So that was 10 years ago.
You're doing a wonderful job. I know we're moving. How'd you like the venue here? Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, it's beautiful. This is wonderful. It's so bright and airy, and the people are just so wonderful. I greeted so many folks out there.
Oh,
it's just,
well, you just turned 90, right?
95.
Oh my gosh, she's 95, and here's a volunteer that never stops. I think you're going to catch up to Esther Abbott. 95.
Well, I hope so.
Yes, oh, you will. Thelma, I can't thank you enough. You look wonderful, and everyone is so appreciative for all you've done for the Salvation Army.
Thank you, and we're so glad for your publicity and all the good things you do for Salvation Army that helps bring the information to the public, and I love that you do it.
Thank you, Thelma. Have a fun day today.
We will.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, and you.
Thank you. All right, well, I have here Kate and Frank Miller, who are longtime volunteers. How are you?
We're fine. Just fine, thank you. We really enjoy working with Salvation Army because it does so much good, and we saw the results of that at the latest California fires, and we have our canteen, which goes around and helps for search and rescue, and also with fires, anything local, and they do so much for the homeless and for the children.
Right. Well, you are wonderful volunteers. Frank, say a few words for us.
Oh, thank you. What I've enjoyed most is doing the Kettle Kick-Offs for the last 2 years. We had our first one last year at this facility in the sunroom, and we had some problems with it, and it grew, so we outgrew the room. Now we're in the Coconut Grove, so that's exciting. And we hope we've got a bigger response also, like from about 150 people to 250 this year. So we're very enthusiastic about this whole event and doing the most good.
I know this is going to be a wonderful event. Wait a minute, there's Frank Miller. Come on up here, Frank. We were looking for you earlier. Frank is a board member and a longtime volunteer. Frank, you are here every year. You and your wife, Kate, do such a fabulous job.
This is exciting, really exciting thing. We look forward to it every year. Counting the people and the numbers and friends. We're raising friends, not just financial, and it's really great.
Yeah, well, you certainly do a lot for the Salvation Army.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a labor of love,
Right.
It's something doing the most good.
Well, I want to introduce again our fabulous hostess for today, Brittany Nilsson from KSBW. We can't thank KSBW and also having you share our holidays here. So, Brittany, how was the experience today? You took Jim Vanderson's place, but you were fabulous.
Like I said to start our program today, I'm no Jim Vanderswan, but I did my best to fill his spot, and which is really an honor to be asked to be here. I'm a local girl. I'm from Watsonville, so I understand the significance of events like this and how appreciated they are and how far the fundraising efforts go, because the Salvation Army really utilizes what they're given, and I think we all recognize that. And I know for KSBW, we do our Share Your Holiday each year, which we just love and we look forward to each and every year. And of course, I get to be in Watsonville, which is a highlight for me. And so it's kind of a reunion. We get to see friends and our fundraising buddies that come out each year. And it's just a really special thing for such an important cause. This is helping our neighbors and people that we may not even recognize need assistance because they're so humble. And this event really, this fundraising season really benefits them.
Right. Thank you so much for all your help today. It was great fun.
Oh, thank you.
So we want to remind everybody to put the metal in the kettle when you see the kettles out there. Help us share the holidays and be sure to tune in. Brittany, you come in at 5 o'clock in the morning. There's a lot of people here that would get up and have coffee with you.
Oh
every
my
day.
goodness, we appreciate that so much. I get to work about, maybe a little before 4 o'clock, and we go on air at 5 and get to join you every morning. And it's really a dream for me. It's really a dream.
Well, thank you again. And don't forget, have a great holiday season. And don't forget, put money in the kettle.